Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome to Pokemon TCG Center. Another day, another live stream, and here we go. Today's live stream starting with a Snorlax VMAX Rebel Clash standard format. Really want to have some fun and entertainment with this build. So, I already played with this deck many times. I played with this deck at my local league. I really enjoy playing it. It is really a cool rogue deck that can actually be also a competitive. What makes Snorlax so special? Well, definitely that 340 HP attack, not attack, which means that Snorlax cannot be one hit knocked out by anything except for the weakness. GMAX Fall can hit for 210. With Vitality Band, you can increase the damage up to 220. And with that being said, you can one-hit knock on, for example, Zacian Wii, where on the other side Zacian cannot knock out your Snorlax, and you can simply Super Scoop up Snorlax back into your hand, even if your opponent damage it back. There are also some other cool features in text, like, for example, Reshiram and Charizard for that Double Blaze and Flare Strike Outrage, Weakly for Infinity, 2 OVH Vulpix and Ninetales for the Night Temptation. Also Cramorant Wii for that Spit Shot, Daddy Change of course for the draw support, 3 Jirachis for the Stellar Wish, and then Marshadow and Mew for that Bench Barrier and Stadium Discardment. For the Pokemon setup, I basically run only 4 copies of Quick Ball. Additionally to that, there's 2 Evolution Incense, 2 copies of Fire Crystal, 1 copy of Pulp Pad, 4 copies of Super Scoop Up, so you can scoop your Snorlax back in your hand, then just use Welder for those energies and repeat the process over and over again. 4 copies of Switch, 1 Tool Scraper, 2 copies of John Hart, Heat Factory as well times 1, 3 Marnies, 4 Welders, and then 1 Vitality Band and 12 Fire Energies. Probably during the live stream I will just make some adjustments to the deck. So I will probably try to deck some cards like Mewtwo, for example, maybe even Rangru as well. We shall see. I really need to think about that, but there is a lot of options available for this deck. So I'm starting maybe first, maybe second. I'm going live only on Twitch. Later this video will be re-uploaded to my YouTube channel. I don't know why, but the restream is not working. YouTube have some glitches, and I don't know what is going on recently with the YouTube. It's been complete disaster, but it is how it is. Alright, I'm gonna put Marshadow on the bench, and we'll go with 1 energy attachment, as well as John Hart for 2 fire energies, just in case. Okay, so for the rest of the game I will have only 1 Snorlax VMAX, so I need to be very careful about that. And let's just go with pass. Okay, so if I top deck Welder, I can use that Spit Shot, hit for 160. But I think I'm probably just gonna B-catch and search my deck for 2 cards. Probably after that I will just Spit Shot for 160 somebody. Discard all of energies from Cramorant, and probably retreat after that. Alright, so my opponent is playing Salazzle deck. There is Professor Oak's setup, which says that you can search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemons of different types and basically put them on your bench. That's what he exactly did. And 1 Intrepid Sword. And my turn. Okay, so I just top deck another Marnie. So in this case, morning was not bad play at all. Let's go with that resetting hole. A little bit risky, but gonna do it. Big catch. I'm for Vulpix, and I think I'm gonna grab myself Snorlax as well. So what I will do is probably next turn, I will just put Snorlax on the bench, Vulpix, play one Welder. I could definitely discard one of my fire energies for with Heat Factory for 2 more fire energies. I don't know why I didn't do that. Maybe because actually I thought about maybe even using the Dane Daddy change, so maybe that was the reason why I didn't. Oh, look at this! Look at the top deck. What a sweet top deck that was. So right now I can actually attach energy, plus I can play Welder, add 1 fire energy to Snorlax, draw some extra cards, and snipe one of my opponent Pokemons on the bench. And I'm gonna go for that Ditto. I think that knocking Ditto out is pretty much a good idea. I don't know what else my opponent plays. I'm not familiar with this deck, to be honest, so I need to be completely honest with you guys. I have no clue what is going on the other side of the field. But I know only one thing. I have Ninetales as well as Fire Crystal. And there we go, that's the GG. I guess I'm gonna move to another game. So yeah, Mewtwo, the promo version with the Mind Report, as well as the version from Unified Minds, if I'm not wrong, which says that when you put Mewtwo from your hand on the bench, you can just pick one of the supporter cards from discard pile and basically put that supporter card on the top of your deck, which is really good. Oh, starting with 2 Dins and 1 Ninetales, 3 Fire Energies. Well, I guess I can Daddy change for sure. Let's just see what we have in our deck. So there's Ninetales, Snorlax, Jirachi times 2, so 1 Jirachi is prized, Evolution Incense. Looks like 1 Switch is also prized. Energies are all here, so I'm gonna go with Daddy change. Really looking forward to basically get. I'm gonna discard Switch. That Vulpix in play. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And something tells me I should try to go with Super Scoop Up, trying to scoop that Dane in my hand. You cannot play more than 1 Daddy change per turn, just be very careful when you play Super Scoop Up. So Daddy change is not the same thing as the Shaman EX. So there is a Frying Pan, which will protect my opponent's Zacian right now from that 1-hit knock against my Reshizard Double Blaze, but still I can use that Tool Scraper if I get lucky. Alright, this looks interesting. So what are we gonna do here? We're gonna put another Snorlax in play. And then we're gonna go with Daddy change. So I managed to draw myself a Heat Factory. Well, one thing is for sure, it's not worth to hit my opponent for that Double Blaze GX, because I can't knock him out anyway, so I will just probably try to... Did I discard my Marsha? Yes, I did. So another Intrepid Sword. Well, never mind for that Intrepid Sword. We have Fire Energy as a top deck and Super Scoop Up. Another Super Scoop Up. So what I'm gonna try to do here, how many energies I have? 2 of them. Alright, so I'm gonna put that energy and we'll use that Marnie so I can put my opponent down to 4. And I didn't get lucky here. But I do have Vitality Band. Still, I can't knock my opponent anyway, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna Flare Strike him for 200. And next turn I will try to knock him out. I was talking about my Ninetales, so if there was one energy more in my hand, or for example, if I drew my Fire Crystal, I could simply use 9 Temptation and catch the Zacian for the knockout, which would be really good. But unfortunately that didn't happen. And with that being said, there is Marnie from the other side of the field. And Brave Blade can go for like 230. Which is really good because after that I can even use 9 Temptation. And I can Outrage for 260 another Zacian on the bench, which is full HP Zacian. But I'm probably not gonna do it. I will try to pick that Super Scoop up and bring back my Snorlax VMAX in the active position. Okay, let's just go with the G-Max Fall, shall we? So 180. Unfortunately, I again misclicked wrong Snorlax, but it really doesn't matter. I knock it out my opponent anyways. So research for 7. There is a switch, Lucario, Melmetal, and 1 boss order. Alright. What can Full Metal Wall do? Well, Full Metal Wall can basically be used with 2 energies, and then my opponent can simply discard all of the energies from my active Pokemon. So what I will try to do here, I will try to use 9 Temptations, and I will basically pick that Zacian Wii on the bench. Additionally, I will use that switch to my Reshizard, attach that energy to my... Actually, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna Marnie my opponent. I really want to control his hand as much as possible. And right now I will use a Evolution Incense, and it's gonna be a play for nothing. John Hart, so I can grab 2 more energies and last 2 energies. Energy attachment to my VMAX, and I'm good to go for 260 minus 30 with that Outrage, which means that I move down to 2 prize cards, and if my opponent really wants, he can knock me out with a Dusk Shot for 60. And after that, I can try to maybe respond with a knockout with my VMAX. Yeah, but then my opponent can GX me and leave him without energy cards, and then I can try to knock him out with my Victini. So this might be a game plan, or I can simply pick the Ninetales and knock that Jirachi. So there are a couple different options for me. For example, so let's go with that Victini. Let's put that Victini in play. And I will go with Energy Attachment, and for now with the G-Max Fall, so I'm putting my opponent down to 1 card. I think maybe a bad idea wouldn't be if I just decided to discard my John Hart, especially if my opponent Resist Stamp me and Full Metal Wall me for that GX attack. Which basically means that he leaves me without energies in play, but I will have 10 energies in my discard pile, which means that that's 200 damage, and plus the weakness should be enough for the knockout, but if he gets heads on the Crushing Hammer, it's gonna be really devastating for me, and luckily he didn't get heads on the coin flip, so there is a quick ball, which might be for Daddy Change, the Dean, or maybe for Eldegoss. Alright, so what he can pick with the Eldegoss? Marnie, or maybe Boss Order, or he just decided to, okay, Full Metal Wall. So it's pretty much all on that Marnie play. I do have Tool Scraper, which means that I can basically win the game if I get lucky. So I'm gonna retreat to my Victini, and I will use that Marnie for 5 cards. If I get a Super Scoop Up, I can still pick that Dean and basically put it back in play for that Daddy Change and pick that Tool Scraper and discard that tool for my opponent, Lucario and Melmetal, and then I can Infinity for 400, minus 30 of course for the GX attack, and basically take the last prize card that I have left. So that's the GG. Alright, that game was really good. I definitely dominated from the beginning till the end. I didn't really let my opponent to do anything almost here. That Ninetales was really super good. Alright, let's move on. Would you like to go first? Always? Yeah, this opening hand looks like a mess. Still, I can top deck something out. If I don't top deck something, it's not gonna be good. Oh, I top deck Marnie. What's on the other side? Raichu? Well, Raichu can hit 20 times energies in play. So he can hit heavy. But probably not enough for the one hit knock against VMAX Snorlax. Just with energy cards. So it will need some extra cards like, let's say... Oh, there's how for 3, alright. For example, like Electro Power. With 12 energies in play, Raichu can strike for 240, and with 2 Electro Powers, that's only 300. That's not enough, unfortunately. So there's a Boltland, but the Boltland with the Bolt Storm can actually do some serious damage. Okay, so my turn, and the top deck was just another Marnie, which means I really need to Marnie my opponent. I really need to hope for something good. Alright, so let's just retreat and Stellar Wish and see what we can find. Another Marnie. Seems interesting, but not gonna need it. Which Pokemon should I take? I think for now I'm gonna go with a Snorlax. And I'm okay. I want to Fire Crystal for Welder next turn. As long as I can have my Jirachi for one more turn, that's good. But the moment my opponent knocks that Jirachi out, it will feel bad. So Emolga for another Nuzlocke Gathering, for Pikachu as well as for the Raichu. Speed Lightning Energy, there we go. So with Speed Lightning Energy, you can draw 2 extra cards. And there is a Bolt Storm for 160. So, time for me to deal with a Snorlax VMAX. Well, right now it's really risky. I'm gonna gamble. And I can say that this gamble didn't pay off, but if I welder for only 1 card, how good that can be. I don't think it can be too good. Let's try to set up another Jirachi in play. Oof, this feels bad. So I'm gonna switch to my Jirachi and I'm gonna Daddy change. And at least I have Evolution Incense, which means I can put in play my VMAX. And with the Stellar Wish, I can pick another Quick Ball. So I can put another Snorlax in play, and that's it for now. So I'm leaving my opponent opportunity and option for another Bolt Storm knockout. But after that, I can one-hit knock out his Botlin Wii with my VMAX. And I will just need another Super Scoop Up and heads in the coin flip in order to return my active VMAX after my opponent deal plenty of damage to him. So I can simply put another VMAX in play and take another knockout. So after my opponent, I just hope that he don't have opportunity, neither option to knock my Daddy change the Din or maybe Snorlax Wii on the bench. So Bolt Storm at this moment dealing 190 damage, which is a serious damage. Really it is. Oh, Super Scoop Up was a top deck. Alright. Perfect. So I can Welder 1 energy from my hand into 3 more cards. I can put my Wigton in play, as well as that Ninetales. And then I can use Pulpad for 2 Welders, just in case. Vitality Band, that's not necessary, but still, I'm hitting for 220. There we go. So another knockout with my VMAX, John Hart, and Jirachi. There we go. So right now my opponent can hit for barely 80 damage, maybe 100 with energy attachment, couple damage more with damage modifiers like Electro Power, and he just decided to concede the moment my Snorlax VMAX hit him and knock him out. So that is a GG. Unfortunately, we cannot look at our opponent deck list. I wonder, what did he play? But okay, let's move on. Alright, so starting just with a Snorlax this time. So ADPization. All right. So I get lucky with the top deck, and I top deck myself a welder. I'm gonna put that Mew on the bench, just in case. And I will try to swallow that Zacian for 60. Next turn I can fall down and knock the Zacian out, but probably my opponent will will find a way to retreat on the bench on that ADP anyways. Okay, interesting decision. He decided to boss order me. So I'm just gonna fall down Zacian for the knockout. And that's the 170 damage. And it's enough for the 2 prize knockout. So there is a Marshadow as well as Heat Factory. There we go. And my Snorlax wakes up. Alright, so this ADP looks ready for maybe even Ultimate Ray, or who knows, maybe for, yeah, Ultimate Ray. So my opponent decided to go for Ultimate Ray. Well, I will probably try to find myself... Yeah, I can't put Nightles in place, so I can't knock the Zacian out, that's for sure. So what I can try to do here, I can try to put some pressure on that ADP in the active position, but meanwhile, actually I can put Snorlax back in my hand, since my opponent didn't use GX attack. Alright, that's not bad at all. Definitely. So I'm just gonna quick ball for one more Pokemon, which can be Reshizard, so I can hit for the weakness. Pulpet can definitely be used for the Welder play. And then I can Stellar Wish into some sort of a switch card. So with the switch, I can have retreat on the Marshadow, because I'm not gonna probably need Marshadow. At least I hope I'm not gonna need Marshadow. Because if my opponent basically decides to energy attachment to Reshizard, yeah, just in case if he knocks my Snorlax out, I'm not gonna lose 3 energies, I'm just gonna lose 2, and I will still have options for attack with my Reshizard, just in case. If my opponent is smart enough, right now is a perfect time to use Alternative Creation GX, no question about that. If I'm him, I would probably consider doing that. Alright, so he did use that GX as I was expecting. So first I'm gonna use my Heat Factory. And then I will pick some of the energies from my discard pile back into my hand. I don't have opportunity to... I can hit for 60, for example, and I can knock the Mew out. But first I'm gonna need heads on the coin flip. And it is a tail, so maybe I should not do that. Alright, so let's go with the Marnie. It's not that bad. Actually, it's very good. For next turn I have Welder. And I have the Dean plus John Hart. So I can do a lot of good things. Oh, there is a boss order in my opponent's hand, so which Pokemon he will pick? I think he will probably snipe the Ninetales out, but I might be completely wrong. We shall see. But I will probably consider sniping the Ninetales out, because Ninetales is basically a Guzma, a Lysander, a boss order, a Pokemon catcher, whatever you want to call him. No, he didn't use it. Okay, so he just knocked out my Marshadow for 2 prize cards. And what I really need to do here right now... Alright, so I have play basically in my hand, so I'm first gonna use that John Hart. Secondly, I'm gonna use... Actually, first I used Heat Factory, then I used my John Hart. And then I will use a Welder, and 2 energy is gonna be attached to my Reshizard. There is a Quick Ball. What are odds that I will draw 2 energies? I can always pick the Super Scoop Up, for example. Nope, it is a Tails. Okay, so I'm going with a Daddy Change. I really need 2 energies for the knock against that Zacian on the bench. And I couldn't find them. I couldn't find them. So I'm just gonna Flare Strike, but the problem is that my opponent can hit me for 260. And if I lose Reshizard, oof, that's not gonna be good. Still I can knock the Zacian out. I mean, the game plan was simply to knock the Zacian out. I was definitely looking forward to find 2 energies so I can knock the Zacian out with a Flare Strike and then try to close the game knocking the Eldegoss out. So there is a ordinary road, but still... If my opponent gets the knockout this turn, probably he will win the game next turn. He have boss order sitting in his hand. So with a boss order, he can catch, for example, Din and take 3 prize cards and go down to 1. Alright, luckily he just ultimate raid my active Reshizard, which means that I can pick between knocking the Zacian out or just going for the knockout against ADP? I would really like to have Marnie right now, or maybe Super Scoop Up. But I know it's very difficult for me to get that combo. So I'm just gonna knock my opponent ADP with my VMAX. And I'm moving down to 1 prize, which means that I can close the game with my 9 Tolls, 9 Temptation next turn. So even if my opponent can use Boss Order, oh, actually, if he uses Boss Order on my Reshizar, the game is over. Yeah, okay, well played. I completely forget about the tag team rule and 4 prize cards. Okay, that's the GG. Brave Blade for 4 prize cards. For the moment I was like, well, okay, he have 4 prize cards, he will just knock me out and take 3 prize cards, but then I realized, oh my goodness, he used that alternate creation GX and he have an extra prize available. And that is so unfair. Really it is. Really it is unfair. Okay, let's go first. Oh, what a nice hand. Alright, I have Vulpix plus Snorlax, as well as other Vulpix. And Cramorant Wii. Okay, so what can I find with the Stellar Wish? Just John Hart? Okay, that feels bad. Okay, at least I have Super Scoop Up, so maybe I can find something on next turn. Alright, I can attach energy and pass my turn. That's all I can do for now. Okay, interesting. So I top deck Marnie, and I have Stellar Wish into the Welder. So let's see if we can get lucky with that Welder call. First, I could use that John Hart, so I could have much better chance to draw something that I really need instead of, you know, Snorlax, for example, but never mind. I just need heads and a coin flip and I can start attacking with my VMAX. Alright, there we go. I can even attach energy from my hand somewhere. And why not to go on the Snorlax? So G-Max Fall for the knockout. There we go, that is 188 damage. And Snorlax looks like unstoppable force so far. My opponent can't do too much. 340 HP, not gonna be easy task. I mean, Articuno can hit with a Cold Cyclone for 70, it can cycle some energies back on the bench. But that's just not gonna be enough. Not even close. So this Articuno needs to hit 5 times in order to knock Snorlax out. And Snorlax just need to hit once, so you can compare that attack and see how broken it really is. Alright, so I'm gonna get rid of this fire energy, and then I will use Marnie. I really want to have some energies for Fire Crystal play if it's necessary. And other than that, I'm good to go with another VMAX Fall, this time for 180. If it's necessary, I can put another Pokemon on the bench, increase the damage for 30 more, and there is a Lapras which says that, ooh, if you get heads in the coin flip, you can paralyze your opponent active Pokemon. Also go for, okay, there is Articuno, so Call Crash GX from nowhere. And still, I have Fire Crystals, so top decking some sort of Welder will put me in a position to another VMAX Fall anyways. But definitely good move from my opponent with that Articuno. Well, just another Fire Energy was a top deck. Really cannot do too much with it. So I'm gonna grab myself Vulpix, gonna put energy on Snorlax, and additionally I will use that Marnie. Okay, so I'm gonna keep digging for switch. I'm gonna keep digging for switch. And before that, I'm gonna use also John Hart, and will discard both fire energies with my Daddy Change, so I can have greater chance to pull switch. Nope, but there is a Super Scoop Up. Nope. Alright, which means that this turn my opponent somehow managed to survive. Alright, so I had 4 switches and 2 Super Scoop Ups. I draw 1 Super Scoop Up, but unfortunately I hit tails in the coin flip, and I couldn't scoop my Snorlax from the active position, and basically put another one from the bench to the active for the knock against that Articuno GX. But it's okay. It's okay. Articuno, Ice Wind, looks gorgeous. This card looks gorgeous. I really like the art of the Articuno. Snorlax also looks badass, like the whole world is on him. Probably with a day or two, I will start streaming on YouTube as well. I just need to fix a glitch with the restream. And I'm looking forward to stream. Probably from the next month, if everything went good. And look what is the problem right now. I can just attach energy and pretty much pass the turn until I manage to find the switch, and that's a horrible thing. So I'm looking forward probably to start live streaming, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 hours per day. I'm looking to do that in, you know, close future, maybe next month. I start maybe from the next month, each day, 5 days a week, 8 hours per day. We shall see. I will definitely need support for that. Okay, air balloon. So, what can Blastoise and Piplup do? Well, they can hit for 150. All suddenly, my opponent is back in action, and I will desperately need to recover those energy cards. But sooner or later, I will also need to find myself a switch. I do have Victini, I can Infinity Energies back, I have Fire Crystals, that's good. That's all fine. But I need Fire Crystal first, I need Switch. If I had Switch like a couple turns before, the game would be over anyways. But right now, Super Scoop Up looks like the best option for me, you know. I'm hitting the heads in the coin flip with the Super Scoop Up and returning this heavily damaged Snorlax back in my hand. Alright, so I'm gonna quick ball into Dead Dean. So I'm probably gonna Daddy change next turn. But the problem with the Daddy change is that I won't be able to use the Victini for that energy recycle. But with 2 Fire Crystals, I think I'm good. That's 6 energies, and my VMAX can actually tank 1 turn without being knocked out. And what is a Bubble Launcher GX? Your opponent's second Pokemon is paralyzed, and if you have 3 energy cards, this attack does 150 more damage. That's okay. Yeah, I have 2 Ninetales, so I should win this game easily. I think I don't need to worry too much. As long as I can find 2 Fire Crystals, things would be good. So my opponent will knock me out right now. He will take 3 prize cards. I will put the Didane on the bench, use Daddy Change, draw myself a 6 cards, and basically I will probably draw 1 Fire Crystal from, you know, 8 cards, 7 cards actually. But first, I'm promoting my Jirachi in the front because I have 4 Switch cards left and 15 cards, so high odds to pull both Fire Crystal and Switch. Super Scoop Up just a turn too late, but if I get lucky with it, and of course I will not. Okay, let's see. What do we have? 2 Fire Crystals, 4 Switches, there's even a Heat Factory, Welder and Marnie as well. That's perfect. I need to draw 1 Switch. Okay, Switch is here, and additionally to Switch, I will also need a Fire Crystal. So from 7 cards, 2 can be Fire Crystals, and there we go, there is a Fire Crystal. Exactly the card I was looking for. So right now, I can use Fire Crystal, pick myself 3 energies, use the Ninetales, 9 Temptations, pick Articuno from the bench. Oh, I should go instead Articuno Inteleon Wii. Use the Tool Scraper, switch on the VMAX, use the Marnie, draw the fresh hand of 4 new cards, and basically G-Max fold that Articuno for the knockout. I was even thinking about maybe using 2 switches. So there is a Welder, and there is a Pulpad. Okay, so things looking good. Fire Crystal is here in my hand for the win, as long as my opponent does not evolve Inteleon into Inteleon VMAX. If he do, that game is over. Hopefully he won't do that. Oh, there's Fion. If Inteleon evolves, then I'm losing the game. How in the world I picked the Articuno instead of the Inteleon? I don't know. I don't know, guys, but he have only 1 card, and that 1 card is a Titaniza. Okay. Chaotic Swell doesn't matter too much. Reset stamp down to 2, that matters a lot. That actually matters a lot. Switch into Pulpad. Okay. I can Pulpad Marnie, so I can switch to Jirachi for the Marnie, and then draw another switch plus Fire Crystal. This is the play. This is the game plan. Oh, there is another switch. Even better. So I'm heading for the Fire Crystal. There is a Fire Crystal. Whew, that was a close game. I can pick some Fire Crystals. I can switch onto my VMAX. Use 9 Temptation. throw 2 fire energies, avoid the Blastoise, pick the Inteleon, and G-Max fall him for 210 for the last 2 prize cards in the game, and for the knockout. There we go. That's it. That's the GG. Alright. Definitely deck works perfect. I can't say nothing against it. It definitely destroys everybody in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you did, definitely please consider subscribing to the channel with hitting the subscribe button, and also hitting the likes up and that notification bell so you don't miss any future video. Follow me also on the Twitch as well if you already didn't. So yeah, that's it for today's video. We'll see you probably tomorrow at the same time. So till then, have a nice day wherever you're located, and we'll see you next time.